wanted to say that you have no idea how much the ministry of Pastor Thor and this church has affected the way that we do ministry. Before we came here, we both grew up in very strict, kind of old-time, AG, very small churches. And I remember when we got here, man, it was an adjustment because we were like, this pastor, he's kind of crazy. I don't know. Like, he just does this stuff, and he has these dreams. And we've said this so many times. We'd go to these staff and board retreats, and we'd be on the way, and we'd think, I wonder what he's going to come up with this time. And he would have this unbelievable ability to have great vision and pass it on to all of us. And I distinctly remember the year he's like, I'm going to write my life story. It's going to be in play form, and we're going to put it on at Marshall Auditorium. And I'm like, okay, he just hit the point where this isn't going to happen. Now, this is, are you serious? And, you know, within a year, we were putting on the Hillside Story at Marshall Auditorium. And I'll tell you, I know many of you attend here or used to, and if you got to give this guy one thing, two things, it's this. Unbelievable vision, unbelievable ability to get people on board. And my students will say, Steph, why do you think we could do this stuff? I mean, we moved to campus this fall. I had to raise like $36,000 in a month, literally. It was unbelievable. But because we worked under Pastor Thor, when you get that vision, you're not as afraid to go after it after you work with him. And the other thing is his unbelievable heart for the lost. We didn't have that. We grew up as Christians, in many generations of Christian, and we didn't have that heart for the lost until we worked under Pastor Thor. And that grew so much to the point where I cannot close one of my services for Chi Alpha, because I do Chi Alpha campus ministry at Winona State, and Chuck is the pastor of the church there, too. So it's kind of two separate things. Never thought I'd actually be the one speaking and leading and doing the altar calls. But Pastor Thor, I'll tell my students once in a great while, I don't know, it just might not come to an altar, response time tonight. And they're all like, Steph, you know it's going to, because you cannot end anything without giving people an opportunity except the Lord. And there's been over 1,200 Winona State students come to the Lord in the last 8 years, and over 100... I think 110 this fall in 8 weeks. But, that is the Lord moving on their heart. But that would not have happened if we didn't give an opportunity. And I wouldn't be giving opportunities every single week had I not sat under your ministry for 10 years. And I thank you so much for getting these two little AG kids that had no vision and really not a heart for the lost, and you absolutely transformed our lives, and thank you so much, Pastor Thor.
Amen. I echo that. What an incredible adventure it was to be here. My mind is flooded with memories of things that happened while we were here at ministry, and I was thinking, Pastor Thor, I really need to apologize to you. I'm a lead pastor now, and so I see things from a completely different perspective. But I remember a couple of times bringing my annual youth budget to you, and I'm just sorry. I apologize. I just thought the whole world revolved around my ministry here at Hermantown Community Church. What an incredible adventure, though. Man, I echo what Steph said. Just incredible memories. I will say this, I thank you as a church, and Pastor Thor, especially you as our leader, that the impact, I think we all have this impression that we're going to change the world, and it's all about what I'm going to accomplish or God's going to accomplish through me. But I think for Steph and I both, we would look back and say it really was more about what God was doing in our hearts. And I appreciate the opportunity that we had to be here in ministry and to grow and mature and develop, and the impact of this church on our life has, like Steph said, the hundreds of college students, there's hundreds of people in Winona that have made a commitment to Christ, and I just don't know that would have happened without the path that God had us on that came through Hermantown Community Church. And so what a blessing. We appreciate the opportunity to be here and hug necks and enjoy and just be reminded. One of the things, I'll just share this and I'll let Pastor move on with the service, but about a year and a half ago I had an opportunity to take a sabbatical after 25 years of ministry. I took 10 weeks off, and one of the things I got to do is ride my motorcycle around Lake Superior with a friend of mine. And one of the things that God really brought me back to was something that Pastor models so amazingly well, and it was just the incredible love for people. The love, even Dan shared, Pastor saying, "Tell me your story." I can't even begin to remember all the times that I was with Thor and at a restaurant or something, and he was so interacting with people, and at the time I'm like, "Pastor, I need to talk to you." But there was such a passion for people, and I just so appreciate that. There's many days I come back to that and think, I need to just slow down a little bit and get in the lives of people around me and go back to some people like Pastor Thor that really modeled that for us. So it's a pleasure to be here. Lord bless you. I bring you greetings, too, from our church in Winona, The Edge. They are allowing us to be gone, and they said to bless you guys. They're excited for you, and one of my advisory team members said, "Pastor," he said, "can you just tell Pastor Thor thank you for getting you straightened out before you came down to Winona?" So, Lord bless you.